Math 107 online. The purpose of this video is to give you a tour of our Moodle site and to orient you to the course so that you'll know what's expected of you throughout the semester. So this is our Moodle site for college algebra. It starts with class announcements. It's the very first thing in here. This is where I'll post things if I need to contact everyone in the class because of a schedule change or a typo that needs to be fixed, something like that. And whenever I post in here, it will automatically go to your student email account as well. So if you check your student email account regularly, which you shouldn't ever need to actually go in here. But all of the announcements will live in there permanently. Next, we have the syllabus and other documents. So let's go in and explore that. So first thing in this folder is the online schedule by week. Pull that up and see what it looks like. So this gives you a great overview, a good bird's eye view of the whole semester and what's going to be expected of you when. Okay, so it's everything is by week, and it says what textbook sections you should read or watch videos for, what instructor lessons to watch, what homework to do, and any other stuff that's due. This last column is for Math 003. So if you are registered for Math 003, which is a co-requisite support course for this class, these are the assignments that you will work on in your Math 003 class time. If you're not registered for Math 003, none of this is expected, but it is all available to you if you want to do extra review. So this is the semester at a glance. Okay, so jumping back into our syllabus and other documents homework folder, the next thing in here is the student registration handout. This is instructions for how to register for MyLab Math. I'm going to do a whole separate video on MyLab Math, so I'm not going to go into that right now. And then last but not least is the syllabus. So let's explore that a little bit. So this is an online class with no required meetings, but I am very frequently available on campus via email or on Zoom if you have questions or want to check in. My office hours are by appointment. There's a link to sign up for them in Moodle, which I'll point out when we go back into the course. And I'm also in the Math Studio several hours a week, and there's a link to the Math Studio schedule in Moodle as well. So the textbook and materials, a MyLab Math access code is required for the course. You can purchase it through the bookstore or directly through Pearson. It comes with an electronic version of the course text, and then you also need some kind of graphing technology. I recommend GeoGebra Classic 5. The download is linked here and also in Moodle. So I'm going to let you read the catalog description in your own time, but I do want to make a note about prerequisites. This semester marks the start of not requiring prerequisites for college algebra. So if you do not have the prerequisites for the class, you're still allowed to register, but you also have to register for a Math Studio support course called Math 003. So Math 003 is 0 credits, and it's free, and it meets 2 hours per week to support you in the course content for Math 107 and any prerequisite skills that you may be missing for Math 107. However, Math 107 is still the same course that it used to be. We will use arithmetic and algebra skills found in the prerequisite courses. So if you are taking this class without the prerequisites, do expect to have to spend some extra time outside of class. Some students may only need a little, and other students may need many additional hours in order to be successful. So just keep that in mind. If you are worried about your skill level coming into college algebra, feel free to reach out and we can have a little discussion about whether or not you should register for Math 003. Okay, so moving on, let's look at what to expect. The class is entirely online. The components of the class are accessed in Moodle and in MyLab Math, which is a Pearson product. So each week you're going to be responsible for working through approximately 3 lessons. And working through a lesson means doing each of the following. You watch the lesson demo video and take notes in the posted course packet or a notebook. I will show you where to find the videos and the packets once we're back in Moodle. Okay, after the demo, you work through the lesson activity that follows the demo in the course packet. So again, I'll show you where the packet is and we'll go through where's the demo, where's the activity. As you work through the activity, you check your answers, also in the packet. And if you need to, you can watch all or part of that activity video. Okay, so if you can't get the answer, you go to the video and watch that. Read the course text as needed and complete the homework assignment for the lesson in MyLab Math. And then each week after you work through the lessons, you need to post any questions, insights, points of confusion, or connections that you've made in the weekly discussion forum. The exact assignments due each week are in the weekly course schedule that I showed you a few minutes ago, and also each week in Moodle has a checklist. So there's 2 places you can go to see what you need to do in a given week. Do be aware that you should be spending about 12 hours a week on this class. That is an average. Some students may be able to work through this in less time, and some students will need more time, but it averages 12 hours per week. A great list of resources here. I'll let you read through that on your own. Many of these things are posted in Moodle, so I'll point them out when we go there. Let's see. Your grade. So discussion forums that you have to post in each week, those are 5% of your grade. Class participation is 5%. So that is measured by the checklists in Moodle. You just check off the tasks as you do them, and there's no penalty for checking things off late. And that gives you 5% participation points for your grade. And then homework is 25%. All your homework is submitted in MyLab Math, but definitely keep a notebook with a record of all your work and answers. That way, if you ever need to come to office hours or go to the math studio and have somebody help you, they can see what you've already tried and figure out what your misunderstanding is. So you want to have an organized record of all your homework. It also will really help you when it comes time to study for tests. Now you have 3 exams over the course of the semester. Exams are taken individually, and you are allowed to use some resources, but you're not allowed to consult with another person in any way. And you are only allowed to use a resource that does not solve the problem or any part of the problem for you. So I'm looking to see what you know and what you're able to learn and apply. So you can see the course schedule for exam dates. And then final exam is similar. But it is cumulative, covers all the material from the semester. So makeup policy. Checklist items can always be checked off late with no penalty. The homework in MyLab Math can always be submitted late, but you get a 10% penalty on the unfinished portion of the assignment. So if you finished 8 out of 10 questions before the due date, you get full credit for those questions, and then you'd get a 10% penalty on just the 2 late ones. Makeup exams are generally not given. If you miss an exam, you'll receive a 0 on it. But of course, there are exceptions for extraordinary circumstances like illness or severe weather conditions, internet outage, stuff like that. So just have to be in communication with me if something like that happens. And that's it for the syllabus. Let's jump back to Moodle. And scroll down to this first block called Course Resources. Okay, so first thing in here is the course lesson packets. So I mentioned these in the syllabus. So we'll check out what's in here. There are 4 packets, 1 for each test, and then 1 for the final exam. So packet 1 contains all the material that's going to be on test 1. So we'll open one of these up and check it out. So our first lesson is algebraic skills review. Every lesson begins with a set of preview exercises, which is like a little warm-up of material that probably you already know. It's likely that you've seen before. but it's some algebra review that we'll be using in that lesson. Then we have a demo, which is the lecture portion of class. You should watch the video of the demo and take notes on it. And after each demo, there's an activity. So after you take notes on the demo, you should sit down and work through the activities without the video. Okay. It would be great if you worked on it with somebody else, like in the math studio or in a study group. Absolutely. Do that if you have the ability. But you're going to work through these, and as you do each problem, I'm going to scroll for a minute here. As you do each problem, you can check your answers, which all appear at the end of the activity. And then if there was any problem that you could not get the answer to, you can go watch the video for this activity or part of the video that covers just that problem. Okay, so that's the packets. And then let's go back to the main page. We have the course lesson videos. So if you open that, it takes you to a YouTube playlist with all of the lessons for the semester, demos and activities. The little warm-up problems are not in here yet, but they will be soon. Next, we have MyLab Math. This is the software tool we'll be using to access the textbook, the homework, a lot of the integrated review assignments, and many other great resources. I'm going to make a whole separate video on MyLab Math. Then we have a link to the Math Studio. The Math Studio is a drop-in math help center. It's also where students registered for Math 003 will go to get support in this math class and for prerequisite skills for this math class. So if we click on the Math Studio, you see there's a link to the virtual Math Studio. And then there's a schedule that shows who's on duty, when, and where. So we have times along the left, days of the week along the top, and each day is split into North 402, which is on campus, and Zoom. So there are hours both on campus and on Zoom every day. And whether or not you're registered for Math 003, you can attend any of these hours. This is all open to everybody. You may be registered for some specific hours if you're signed up for Math 003. And you should attend those, but you can also attend more hours if you want. Okay, then we have my office hours. This link takes you to my Google Calendar where you can sign up for an on-campus or a virtual appointment. The peer tutoring website, click there and you can sign up for a peer tutoring appointment. And then other resources, I believe just has, a link to download GeoGebra, graphing software. So that's it for the course resources. Let's look at the blocks for each week. So the first week of the course, September 6th to the September 12th. So you'll notice weeks start on Wednesday and end on Tuesday. Every week runs from Wednesday to Tuesday. And when you open the week, the first thing underneath the week is a to-do list. If you click on that to-do list, you can see all the things that I'm expecting you to do for the week. And remember that checking off each of these items counts as part of your grade. That is your participation grade for the semester, is how many of these things you've checked off. So you're watching the course intro video. That's done, so you check it off. We went over the syllabus, but you should read all the documents in that folder and work through this whole checklist during the first week. Anything you need to complete the checklist will either be up in the course resources block or posted immediately beneath the checklist. So the course intro video, for example, is right here. The MyLab student registration handout I posted here. Again, it's also in the syllabus and other documents folder. And then the discussion forum to post in. And then each week looks very similar. So here's week 2. Look at the checklist. And you can see the checklist always has the same things in it. Read the textbook, watch the lesson demo, work through the lesson activities, do the homework. And then you're going to do that about 3 times each week. It'll be 3 lessons, and you got to do 4 things for each lesson. So most weeks are going to look like that. So here's the next week. And then some weeks will be a test. So our first test is September 27th to October 3rd. The to-do list will just say, read the information about the exam, blah, blah, blah. You can read those on your own. And then you have a block here that will tell you information about the exam. This is just a video and a warm-up test to teach you how to submit your answers in Moodle exams, because the exams are in Moodle. And that is just about it for Moodle. Let me show you where you can find your grades. So up along the top here, if you click this grades tab, it will show you your grades on each assignment as you do them. These are all blank right now because I haven't done any of the assignments. So that just about covers our introduction to Moodle. If you have any questions, please reach out to me, and let's have a great semester.